Story which is coming up on your screens. JDS MLA GT Devegowda backs Siddaramaiah on the MUDA case, supports his no resignation stand. Alright, that's our top story. JDS MLA, that is GT Devegowda, backs Siddaramaiah on MUDA. Politics makes for strange bedfellows and even stranger situations. Even as Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah finds himself in troubled waters in the MUDA case, he seems to have found some support from unexpected quarters. JDS MLA GT Devegowda has backed Siddaramaiah amid the ongoing investigation into his alleged involvement in the MUDA land scam case. Devegowda backed Siddaramaiah's no resignation stand and instead took a dig at his own party leader, H.D. Kumaraswamy, also former Chief Minister at one time of Karnataka. Devegowda questioned whether Kumaraswamy would have resigned from the Chief Minister's post over what he described as baseless allegations. Going one step further, in extending support to Siddaramaiah, Devegowda called the probe an accidental incident and said that a mere FIR against the Chief Minister does not warrant his resignation. Devegowda said, and I quote, "The governor ordered for investigation on this, that is MUDA case. The High Court Justice also upheld the governor's order. Is any law stated to send him to jail? Is the court asking for a resignation? Don't ministers in the central government have responsibilities? If H.D. Kumaraswamy is told to resign, would he do it?" Lots of questions there. Meanwhile, the ED has also begun its investigation into the alleged MUDA scam and filed the ECIR. The complainant, Pradeep Kumar, has now accused Siddaramaiah and also his son, Yatindra Siddaramaiah, of deliberately destroying evidence by taking back the sites. The petition calls for the immediate seizure of the 14 sites, action against MUDA officials involved, and the arrest of those responsible for tampering with documents. The ED and the Lokayukta have been urged to act swiftly and take possession of relevant documents to prevent further destruction of evidence. Meanwhile, let me also add that 2 days ago, Parvati Siddaramaiah returned the 14 plots to MUDA voluntarily, and it was accepted, although she was not present. You can apparently surrender your plots even in absentia. That's what she's done. But the question that we've been asking right from the beginning is, does that absolve Siddaramaiah? Perhaps no, perhaps yes. That's the legal aspect. But today, what kind of support has Siddaramaiah found and why? What's the reason? Professor Chambi Puranik, senior political analyst, is joining us. Professor, welcome to the show. Professor Puranik, you know, GT Devegowda, we all know, I mean, people who have, you know Karnataka politics like the back of your hand. But in 2023, did he not want to join the Congress party, sir? There was talk that he is going to the Congress. He is very unhappy with H.D. Kumaraswamy, although his son is still part of the party. But I don't understand something. This is an open revolt, sir. You know, this is openly saying, I support him. Why? What do you think is the reason?
I know Devegowda, GT Devegowda just as deeply as I know Siddaramaiah and all these people, you know, whether they belong to Congress, JDS, at last while Janata Dal and all that. You know, one good thing about GT Devegowda is simpleton. I think his words should be taken in that context, though he has some kind of settles to score, I mean, to settle score his scores with H.D. Kumar. So that is there, you know, because he was about to join Congress or BJP, you know, but always he surrendered to H.D. Devegowda's whatever kind of order or command, you know. That is the basic, absolutely loyalty wise, he is very loyal to H.D. Devegowda. But his terms with Kumaraswamy are not very good terms. That is also there, you know, this kind of. So therefore, I would consider this Devegowda statement as one of the just, you know, statement which is inspired by the speech made by the great scholar, you know, literary wizard by name Hampa Nagarajaya. You know, what he mentioned was, this is not the time to, you know, disturb the government or make it unstable or change the government, because people have given mandate. So therefore, Rajadharma requires, you know, you must allow them to administer and the state should get benefited. In that broader context in a moral kind of thing. Yes, Sanjay. So taking clue from that, Mr. GT Devegowda, he went on saying that Siddaramaiah has done this, that, and all that, and there is no need to ask for resignation. And he interpreted the judgment in that way where you have shown it also. That is, it's only an investigation, not any kind of other direction by the court and all that. So in that way, you should say. But more than that, there is something which you also perhaps you can anticipate that things are not good between H.D. Kumaraswamy and GT Devegowda. You know, the example he gave immediately, he said, I have not asked for resignation of CM Siddaramaiah. But people in such position, they should not talk like that. You know, that means defending 14 sites allotment and making it legitimate and all that. So in that way, Kumaraswamy is also very clever. In a very camouflage language, he indirectly means that Siddaramaiah should have resigned, but he is not asking for his resignation because he is also in a position to be questioned, you know, whether you have resigned the central government ministership if there is an allegation against you, mere allegation or the kind of investigation that Siddaramaiah has initiated against him. You know, these are all some of the things which are personally motivated. I don't think beyond this, you know, I don't like. But the third thing is, GT Devegowda is a very strong JDS supporter. He has a very good base in Mysore district. I mean, beyond that, not in Mandya and other places. So therefore, I think he is indispensable for JDS. You know? So Siddaramaiah knows this. But the best thing that today what has happened is Siddaramaiah has profusely thanked him.
Yes.
He said, I thank Mr. GT Devegowda for giving me that moral support and all that. So Siddaramaiah also is the same thing as I mentioned. From statesman he has become a politician, and GT Devegowda is a simpleton, a very simple, humble farmer. And I have seen his very humble beginning, which I don't want to tell here. But he has come up very well also. He has built his reputation
No, but
as
sir,
a
but
very
Professor
great expert in-
Professor Puranik, politics is not played on idealism. Those days are gone, sir. At least I think at least 60 years ago, when these things used to happen.
I agree with you.
Then ministers used to resign if there was a train accident. Now the minister will go take a selfie. Politics has changed. It's become like a corporate job now, you know, how well you keep your job by, you know, cutting down everyone else. So the thing is that we cannot, he could be a simpleton, but it doesn't, you know, if you go back in history and if you look at GT Devegowda, he was very, very angry with Kumaraswamy because, you know, like I was reading, he preferred, you know, who HDK, he preferred Sara Mahesh over him for district in charge of Mysuru. Now you yourself say, sir, that Mysuru is a bastion of Mr. GT Devegowda, who's on the screen right now. He was very angry. He has constantly said, I'm not happy, although his son works for the party. You see, there have been lots of cases, particularly after the JDS shook hands with the BJP, many leaders were very, very cut up, you know, with this. Now the thing is, look at it. On the one hand, H.D. Kumaraswamy, who is today one union minister, he says, let him resign. Parvati Siddaramaiah giving back the plots is no reason for him to stick around. They also say that R. Ashoka, you know, the Congress party saying, why is R. Ashoka not resigning? You know, then they come to the, now Mr. GT Devegowda has also trained his guns on R. Ashoka, with whom the party is in alliance. You see, it is all like one bisibele bhat, you know, khichdi, like we say in Hindi. You know, we do not know which vegetable is going where, and I think it is all, I look, sir, as journalists, we only read the tea leaves, you know, because Siddaramaiah, let me read out what Siddaramaiah has read. He said, I get strength from the words of Mr. Gowda. He knows what is the truth. Despite being in another party, he has made an effort to speak the truth. So he suddenly made GT Devegowda as oracle of speaking. Sir, there is something more than meets the eye here. It is not so simple.
No, I agree with you. You know, just to tell you, his background, I said he is important, but he is also a clever politician. Just like Mr. Siddaramaiah was risen from such level to higher level, GT Devegowda has his own ambitions also. Because he is loyal to Mr. H.D. Devegowda, but he is not loyal to H.D. Kumaraswamy, nor blind loyalty to the party. You know, apart from that, he is ready to jump to Congress if such an occasion comes, you know, if things go well with him. So, GT Devegowda's whatever position is there, because he is a strong, popular figure in Mysore district, in any party he joins, he will definitely bring advantage to that party. But Siddaramaiah himself and Devegowda, they are good friends. They have a lot of things to share together and all that. So I don't think, I will not say that he is a simpleton. There is nothing. There is much more than to what the kind of words that they have used and all that. Now he has clarified. After half an hour, he has clarified, saying that I only said the resignation is not demanded by the High Court.
Right.
So therefore, investigation is there. Like that central government investigation, I'm sorry, H.D. Kumaraswamy will
All right,
not
Professor,
resign.
let me take a break right now and I'll come back and, proceed with the same debate. Please stay with us. Professor Chambi Puranik. See you on the other side.
Let yourself flow with the turn of each tide.
Salty winds, you sweeten your ride.
Maharashtra,
Maharashtra, it's a hit.
Maharashtra tourism.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
Cooking is an act of love. The first act of love you receive from our mothers in the families.
Modern Indian food is all about contemporary and innovative approach to traditional Indian cooking.
Representation it's also important,
I want to wear this white coat every day and then be a chef.
There are stories. If the name of whiskey is Indri, then there is a whole story behind that.
Cooking food is like a therapy, and eating one is like a pleasure I can give it to myself. With Lounge Nights, I'm on a journey to celebrate and recognize the best food and nightlife establishments in various cities across India.
Radical presents Lounge Nights every Saturday and Sunday only on News9 Live.
That's the first story. Like I said, politics makes for strange bedfellows and stranger situations. JDS MLA, that is GT Devegowda, has packed Siddaramaiah on MUDA and said that why is everybody asking for his resignation? He's also questioned his party's supremo, H.D. Kumaraswamy, and said, did anyone asking for his resignation? And this has created quite a hullabaloo in Karnataka, but then Siddaramaiah has actually acknowledged GT Devegowda's support and said that I'm touched, although he belongs to another party, but he's spoken the truth and I've got a support from him. Professor Chambi Puranik is with me, political analyst. According to the professor, GT Devegowda is a simpleton. He speaks his mind. Maybe he means that at this time there is no need for a resignation and change of guard, etc., etc. So it is just a simple man who's talking like this, but then and I know that politics is not so simple. Professor Puranik, in the background of what we are hearing is that there is also been meetings which has happened between Satish Jarkioli, Mahadevappa, Parameshwara. They are all getting ready. Now again, speculation. That sources are telling me that they are all getting ready. They want to cut, DK Shivakumar down to size. They want to see that one of them, whoever it is, because all of them are also from marginalized communities, should become much like Siddaramaiah, who belongs to, a marginalized community. So they want to kind of be the chief minister. Do you think this support which has come about could also be in the wake of Plan B, and Siddaramaiah could find himself isolated, sir?
Yeah, I mean, your insight is commendable. I was 50% I was thinking in the same way. Now I will tell you sequence in just a few 1 or 2 minutes. See, GT Devegowda's telling is not with any political calculations and all that, but he might have got a hint. He has one thing. He is not happy with H.D. Kumaraswamy. He was denied the leader of the legislature party from JDS. So that is also there. Third thing is today is mentioned, Sudha, you get translated that I am in the JDS party with full pay. Only because of H.D. Devegowda I am here. So he has already reached that level of, either leaving the party or joining some other party, something like that. It is there. Third thing is his own son. His future, he has to look into it. So therefore, already his son is an MLA and he wants his son's future to be safeguarded. So with that kind of personal intentions or hidden agenda, he might have, just like the occasion came, he might have mentioned. Now in the clarification, he mentioned what you mentioned, that it is not the time to ask for resignation because people need administration, development is going, and then the 5 guarantees of the Congress party are not delivered goods and people are very unhappy and all that. So these are all some of the things that you can say that there is also one section or a very strong section within the Congress party that in case Siddaramaiah resigns, maybe not because of court. And I will tell you why Siddaramaiah will resign. Just like the 14 sites surrendered by his wife in just a most unexpected way, though suggestion was there earlier, Siddaramaiah also is a person who knows how to time his resignation also. He has just mentioned, and 3 times, Sudha, you and me have discussed that he is not an atheist. He is a devotee, his wife is 100% a Hindu lady. So therefore, he has mentioned Chamundeshwari for the first time. 3 times he has said, Mata Chamundeshwari, her blessings will allow me to continue for more than 1 year. That means 2.5 years. It's already, 1 year, about 6-7 months and all that. So that means to say there is an agreement within the Congress that High Command, Venugopal and others who like H.D. Shivakumar, D.K. Shivakumar. So Shivakumar's likelihood of becoming in the second term, it was decided earlier also, but it was kept in abeyance. Now it is an opportune time for D.K. Shivakumar to climb for that. So in this context, I totally agree with you that there is a kind of movement or, the political...
Some kind of a political... there is some maneuvering which is taking place, Professor. No one is that simple. No, this man, if he has former Prime Minister Devegowda's ear, his namesake, GT Devegowda, then he's not a simpleton, sir. No one is simple in politics, sir.
I mentioned simpleton. No, please let me clarify. I do agree with you. I mentioned simpleton because I talked to him number of times. He immediately comes out with some instant kind of solution or suggestion or whatever view. That is one thing. Second thing is, he also calculates that there is a future for my son if somebody else whom I support becomes chief minister. And also he knows by supporting Siddaramaiah, whoever becomes next chief minister will be recommended or approved by Siddaramaiah because he is OBC leader. Already OBC leaders have met today in the hotel. I got the news from one of the channels that they are already gathering to ask their support of the OBC community's leaders and all that. And they are going to meet with Siddaramaiah on 7th. So therefore, the churning of political dynamics that are there, I will not be surprised if Siddaramaiah, just like 14 sites surrendered, he will also take a decision to resign because he is a person who knows, how to time his own departure or the kind of position he holds also. So therefore, a remote control chief minister will emerge in this context, and D.K. Shivakumar will be prevented by majority of the group leaders or MLAs.
Yeah, but I want to ask you, Professor, one thing which everyone was asking me this today before I came on the debate. Isn't Siddaramaiah actually going back to his roots? After all, he was part of the JDS. Somewhere he still has that socialist kind of gene somewhere, and he's unable to be a true Congress person because let's not forget that JDS is still, without the BJP, still the only regional party in Karnataka.
Siddaramaiah may support a regional party, but not with Devegowda family. I think his relationship with Devegowda family are torn apart. I don't think that rapprochement or whatever the kind of unity will emerge. But he may support a regional party in case he is humiliated, his nominee is not made chief minister, and his supporters are disgruntled.
Okay.
Just like he destabilized H.D. Kumaraswamy's government last time, allowing BJP's Operation Kamala, he may do it also because he is also a shrewd politician. He knows how to
Professor,
take.
okay. I'm so sorry, but
the moment Siddaramaiah takes revenge, I tell you, there will be a lot of things which you and me have discussed today. And that support, regional party he may support, but he may not go against Congress.
Yes, Professor.
Because
maybe
he is supported by Congress 100%.
So maybe there is yet another conversation that you and I shall have. For now, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. And ladies and gents, it's time for me to take a break, but let me also announce the next story. It's a big story. Samantha Prabhu and KT Ramarao slam Telangana Minister K Surekha over her remarks on the actor's divorce. Surekha retracts her statements, apologizes.
Who am I?
Nobody can crack that mystery.
There is a certain expectation of me.
That's the only contradiction.
Life itself is stranger than fiction.
I was a perfectly normal person born in an abnormal world.
I really didn't understand why is it different.
Just imagine a child who is bullied every day.
Boys school में कुछ लड़का लोग मेरे साथ sexual abuse किए. मुझे तेरे बारे में सब पता है. अब तेरा rape कर लूँगा.
You also start to stigmatize.
अरे ये तो time pass है.
Sex doesn't come in the picture, sex comes very late.
Then there are man-made narratives.
Why do you walk like that? Why do you sway so much? So you can understand the trauma of a person who's trapped in a wrong body.
But nothing can bind light.
We have to reclaim the lost position. We fought for more than 10 years. Today I'm the mother of the industry. I'm a first transgender member judge.
You can't walk in everybody's shoes.
This is what I'm comfortable with. They just are what they are.
You become the light yourself.
That is the change that I was looking for.
When I recognize myself is a small story, but it's an interesting one.
In the heart of New York, an Indian spectacle unfolds. Step into the world of the elite saga, featuring influential Indians who've rocked the globe. From culinary geniuses,
this has been nothing less than a dream,
to the wisdom of sages.
and which is why success can never be spelt without you.
Discover the stories behind the stars. Experience the magic behind the scenes at the first Indian event at the Statue of Liberty. Watch the Elite Saga streaming only on News9 Plus. Download now.
All right, that's the second story that we are following. Samantha, KTR slam Surekha, that minister, right there. She has now tendered an apology. Konda Surekha, a minister in Telangana government, sparked a massive row yesterday when she accused BRS leader and former minister KT Ramarao, also popularly known as KTR, of tapping the phones of actresses and blackmailing them. Worse was when Surekha got personal and said how it was KTR who was responsible for the divorce of film star Samantha Prabhu and Akkineni Naga Chaitanya.
KTR के वजह से समंता का डाइवर्स हुए. हमारे को मालूम इंटरनल इश्यूज. वो तब मिनिस्टर था. ये हीरोइंस का फोर्स टैप करके उसका वीकनेस कुछ है तो वो रिकॉर्ड करके उसको सुना के आप आए तो ये बाहर नहीं आते, नहीं तो ये बाहर ट्रोल करते बोल के वो लोगों को लाले के उसको ड्रग्स एडिक्ट करके ये भी ड्रग्स लेके उसका लाइफ को स्पॉइल करे. सब कुछ हीरोइंस का वास्ते ऐसा हुआ. सब कुछ हीरोइंस अब अर्जेंटली मैरिज करके इंडस्ट्री से बाहर चले गए.
Later, this same minister, while retracting her comments, tendered an apology as follows. In a social media post, she wrote, and I quote, "In my political career, I have never mentioned or brought up issues of anyone's family for political gains. I did not demean your family or Miss Samantha Prabhu too. I never use the problem someone faces in their personal life as a means to target them, nor did I do it in your case. That's not my style or intention." But then, by then, it was too late. Surekha's comments on Samantha Prabhu, an actress, was now regarded as a pan-Indian artist, and her former husband, Naga Chaitanya, invited the ire of several actors in the fraternity. The first to react was Samantha herself, who took to Instagram, and she said, "My divorce is a personal matter, and I request that you refrain from speculating about it. Our choice to keep things private doesn't invite misrepresentation. To clarify, my divorce was mutual consent and amicable with no political conspiracy involved. Could you please keep my name out of political battles? I've always remained non-political and wish to continue doing so." Naga Chaitanya, her former husband, also reacted very adversely to what Konda Surekha said. He said, "The claim made by Minister Konda Surekha Garu is not only false, it is absolutely ridiculous and unacceptable. Women deserve to be supported and respected. Taking advantage and exploiting the personal life decisions of celebrities for the sake of media headlines is shameful." Samantha's former father-in-law, Akkineni Nagarjuna, a very senior actor, again pan-Indian actor, reacted sharply to Konda Surekha, and this is what he said. "I strongly condemn the comments of the Honorable Minister, Mrs. Konda Surekha. Don't use the lives of movie stars to stay away from politics to criticize your opponents. Please respect other people's privacy. As a woman in a responsible position, your comments and accusations against our family are completely irrelevant and false. I request you to withdraw your comments immediately." Yet another senior actor and brother of Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Pavan Kalyan, Chiranjeevi, expressed his utmost disappointment at the comments made by Surekha and said, amongst other things, "I'm extremely pained to see the disgraceful remarks made by an honourable woman minister. It is a shame that celebs and members of film fraternity become soft target as they provide instant reach and attention. We as film industry stand united in opposing such vicious verbal assaults on our members. No one should stoop to this level for scoring political points by dragging unconnected people and more so women into their political slugfest and make distasteful, fictional allegations." And then, ladies and gentlemen, there were many, and one like Junior NTR, Nani, Allu Arjun, they all stood up for Samantha and Naga Chaitanya, and their statements on all your screens right now. Let me also read some telling statements from what they said. For instance, Junior NTR said, "Konda Surekha Garu, dragging personal lives into politics is a new law. Public figures, especially those in responsible positions like you, must maintain dignity and respect for privacy. We will not sit quietly while others make baseless allegations against us. Let's ensure our society does not normalize such reckless behavior in democratic India." Allu Arjun said as follows, "I strongly condemn the baseless derogatory comments made about film personalities and film families. This behavior is deeply disrespectful and goes against the values of our Telugu culture." You know what? There may be many allegations against film stars and artists that they never stand up on issues which impact the nation. But this incident, where a minister spoke out of turn, shows how united they are, particularly, and put the minister in her place for shooting her mouth off unnecessarily. You know what? I have to take a break right now. But when I come up to very strong voices who are going to speak on this issue of Konda Surekha, who shot her mouth off about Samantha Prabhu and Akkineni Naga Chaitanya. See you on the other side.
Joe Biden is not going to be the Democratic presidential nominee.
I made my choice. Kamala Harris. She's experienced. She's tough. She's capable.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
I am the one saving democracy.
He has tapped into the fear and anxiety about demographic change in the US.
This polarization in the United States. Some people are even suggesting that there could be a civil war.
You are this unable to solve your own domestic problems. You have no right to claim to be anybody else in the world. And we're moving into a multipolar world where the United States will not lead.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
All right, that's the topic that we are discussing. Samantha Prabhu, KTR, slam Konda Surekha minister apologizes. Sanjana Galrani, film actor in the south of India, a very well-known actor, is joining us, and Arvind Joshua, costume designer and screenwriter and film director, somebody who's in the middle of directing a star you know, several stars. I don't want to really reveal what he's doing, but you know, is also joining us right now. Let me first invite Arvind Joshua. Arvind, thank you so much for agreeing. I was going to say that you're directing Prakash Raj and then decided, should I be saying it or not, because the cat is out of the bag. Many congratulations, what a great actor. Also, you have dressed Tamanna Bhatia, you know, in Happy Days. You've worked with many of the stars in Telugu industry, also other industries. Tell me something. What is this? You know, I just think that film stars become easy targets, Arvind Joshua. You know, she said something, now she's with the ruling dispensation. I mean, she's with the Congress party, and there is, you know, Chief Minister, of course, Revant Reddy, their party is ruling. But I want to ask you that I found out apparently there is no major reason for her to have reacted like this. Where is this coming from, Arvind Joshua? She's a woman.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, this is very surprising because she's actually trying to defend herself from, I think, one more controversy. What she was talking about is recently she happened to attend some viewers, you know, gathering. She's trying to talk about or address the issues of the viewers, and some other minister or some other politician happened to put a garland of khadi thread, the cotton thread around her neck. And BRS took it up and they started making mockery out of it. And she felt that she couldn't even eat properly, couldn't sleep properly after seeing such nuisance being made about a very friendly thing, or you know, a thing that is actually supposed to address the issue of viewers. She was pained, she was ached, she was really depressed. And looking at the kind of behavior BRS, you know, social media people are doing. But what she ends up with is directly or indirectly attacking an actress and kind of showing all the actresses and all the women who are in the film industry in a very poor light. You know, what you said is right. You know, it is like really surprising because it's not even politically right. You know, sometimes to just get a political mileage, you might do a few things which might be really disturbing to other people, but it will at least get you some kind of a mileage. But Konda Surekha garu really shocked me, because I have great respect for her as a politician. She has a long journey as a politician, and she and her husband, I think, have a very good reputation, and as you know, they get a good story behind them. Good, I think.
Right.
You know, they spend a lot of time. Yeah. So she's one of the ministers whom we are supposed to. I definitely have a great regard for her. But what she said is surprising, shocking, and yeah, it just keeps coming again and again. At I think the women who are in film industry, and I've been a costume designer, which means I work really close with a lot of actresses, including Kamlani Mukherjee and Tamanna Bhatia, and about his Nagarjuna Garu and Anushka, many of these actresses, and I never actually saw them in a poor light, or I never really happened to even see them doing anything wrong, which these people think that they're doing.
I know. Sanjana Galrani, let me get you on the screen. You know what Arvind Joshua said, that apparently Surekha Garu was also trolled because a BJP worker, or I don't know who he was, put a garland around her made of, I think, cotton or something, which I also heard, and she was trolled. They called him, you know, BRS people allegedly called them a couple and everything. But that doesn't mean that if I am trolled, I troll a woman back. Then what is the difference? I am an elected representative. I am a minister. What's the difference between me and the trolls? Sanjana Galrani, do you think? Yeah, go ahead.
No, film actresses are not toys. We have emotions.
Of course.
We have respect. We have a society to deal with. And if you just take out Samantha or her ex-husband's, Instagram or their social media, their life will be hell and miserable for the next few days. I feel so bad for them. The amount of emotional trolling that they go through, the amount of emotional drain that they go through. And some people who are judgmental, they will be happy about these ruining statements that have happened about the actress. And, to some of the enemies in the film industry, it might give great satisfaction that, oh, we are happy that rumors like this have come up to exploit her name. It's very emotionally draining. If you're a politician, good for you. Will you talk like that about your own daughter? Will you talk like that about your own mother? You will not. So don't talk about a film actor like if that she belongs to you and you're feeding her every meal every day. We all have self-respect being film actors. We are from the film industry. We know how tough it is to survive one film after another.
I totally appreciate that. Yes.
If one film is a hit, we sign 3-4 films. If a film doesn't work, we have to sit at home the whole year and think, when will I get my next opportunity, or create our own opportunity. It's a lot of sweat and blood out there to become that celebrity that you become. You don't become a celebrity just like that overnight. You eat half your stomach or even quarter your stomach just to maintain that thin waistline, just so that you're loved by people, just so that you're a perfect film actor, not because you want somebody to come and just use your name and exploit you in the media for their own political personal agendas. And everything in the country is not political. Please leave the film industry out of politics is what I would like to humbly request. It's very disappointing to be seeing.
Absolutely, Sanjana Galrani. I totally hear you. Arvind Joshua, I also want to ask you that, now, this may sound harsh, okay? So do forgive me. But then, the support that Samantha has got and the support that Naga Chaitanya has got, it's also because of that name, Akki Neni. I do a show called The South Indian, and I'm a great lover of cinema. The Akki Neni name has done great service for Telugu film industry. Who doesn't know Nageswar Rao? I mean, then Nagarjuna Garu's wife, Amala Garu. Then this. There are these first families of Telugu film industry like Akki Neni, Daggubatti. These are all big families, and they've contributed a lot to cinema world. Do you think the same would have happened if there was somebody else who was facing this? I want to ask you, don't you think that the strength has come also because of who they are, sir? It's like the Bachchans or the Kapoors in Bollywood.
A very valid question, Sudhaji. Definitely, yes. I think it worked, and many people had to raise their voice because it's got something to do with Amala, something to do with Samantha. And the woman minister directly kind of, attacked, almost, alleged that, they were asked to send her for a favor. So I think which is a huge embarrassment to the family. As you rightly said, Akki Garu did a lot of, I think, he did a lot of favor to the industry when it was in Chennai. He was the first person to shift to Hyderabad, and after he shifted, Akki Garu shifted, and many families and many industry persons shifted to Hyderabad. So Akki Garu, in a way, is a pioneer of Telugu film industry in Hyderabad. And I worked with Nagarjuna Garu. He's an excellent person, and Amala Garu, we all know that she does so much of social work and an excellent, very matured woman. And I met Naga Chaitanya. They're all perfect people. But as you rightly said, anything else happening, something like this to any other woman in the industry, I don't think they would receive such a support. And all the people who are tweeting now in support of Samantha Garu, I don't think they would do it. It's the truth, and we need to accept it, that a woman who is not having such a background will not be receiving such a support from the industry. It is a truth, and it is a naked truth you only tell.
All right. Let me go to Sanjana Galrani. Sanjana Galrani, I was thinking the same thing. This minister has said something. She shot her mouth off and she scooted and happily gave an apology, and life will go on. But it's going to be hell for Samantha Prabhu, and also for, I think, Akineni Naga Chaitanya for the next 2-3 days. The thing is that I know that I'm kind of connecting two things separately, but I think there has to be some kind of a criminal kind of a complaint also, a defamation charge also. You can't just come, say ridiculous things about me and then say, hey, I'm sorry, because celebrities are celebrities. They impact people, they impact people's thoughts, they have a standing in public. I mean, who's going to now save, Samantha Prabhu has been a very brave woman. I mean, she's come out and said that how she's battled an autoimmune disease. She speaks about it openly. She speaks about how to help others, who are battling the same thing, about whether it's whatever the problems are. Why is she to suffer this nonsense?
I think the law in the country itself is somewhere very weak, anyone can say anything and then say you're sorry and get away. Whereas this is not the case when it comes to the West. People really think 10 times, because when it comes to the law of suing people, it's like if they go ahead to sue you, you might even have to sell your own house or even your entire property that you have got from your ancestors. Literally, that is the kind of law and order that we have in other countries, but we lack that in this country. If you go for a criminal defamation, the case will go on for some 10 years, and then later on, you would have filed for some 5 crores and you'll get some 50,000 rupees. And that will not even be your lawyer's fees.
Yeah, but Sanjana, let me tell you, even as I was speaking to you, my colleague Aman has just sent me this piece of news saying Naga Chaitanya's father, Nagarjuna, files defamation case. Nagarjuna issues defamation notice to Konda Suresh. There you have it. Nagarjuna Garu has done it.
This is just to silence people. This is to show that, yes, see, even we are the Akineni, and you cannot get away by saying whatever you want to say and get away with us. And, again, law will take its own course of sweet time, as it always does in India. And I'm glad this happened. I'm glad that people are at least holding her accountable of what she's spoken, and she cannot just fly away by saying a very diplomatic thank you, And if you're powerful, good for you. If you're a politician, good for you. Keep your power to yourself. Keep your politics to yourself. Don't sit and exploit women, whoever you find, just so that you can become more popular with your statements, is what I would like to say.
And then I'm asking you the question that I asked Arvind. Do you think it would have happened to anybody else who doesn't have a powerful surname?
This kind of support? It happens to everyone. Everyone suffers with allegations over here, but it wouldn't have come out on such a big scale like how it has come out today. It's national news and everyone is talking about it. If it was any other actor or actress who's of a smaller scale, the entire news would have died a smaller death.
Very pertinent and very brave point made by Sanjana Galrani, the actor. Arvind Joshua, the thing is, do you think it will also be like, pretty much like what Sanjana is saying? It's done, it's dusted, everyone will move on, or do you think it's going to impact, the Akineni family, particularly Samantha, their former daughter-in-law, wife, sister, whatever, for a long time to come?
I think Samantha has been carrying this cross the moment she took a decision to divorce Naga Chaitanya. There are a lot of speculation, and surprisingly, there was a costume designer also who was mentioned. That is the reason behind, her divorce with Naga Chaitanya. And there's a lot of gossip happens in the industry about why this couple got divorced. We keep hearing about it on daily basis, even today. So the blame has been on her, and the family has been carrying it. And it's good that Ms. Naga Chaitanya moved on, he got married, and I'm sure that even Samantha Garu also would move on and she'll start living a better life. But I think the industry, cinema industry somehow attracts attention of all kinds of people and almost everybody in the society. So they love us, they hate us. Whenever I see how they want to see the stars in real life, but they also say some bad words in the when they're shooting outside in the outdoors. I keep hearing people mocking them loudly and trying to make fun of the heroines and stuff. So I don't know whether they love us or hate us. They love us, hate us. So they'll keep going on for some more time. I think they need to bear with it. But I think Samantha, the kind of maturity she has shown in her tweets against incident actually made me think that she's strong enough to fight it. Yeah, that's what I think.
And I think it's because in this country, both Sanjana Galrani and Arvind, my two bits is, in this country, actors are still not looked as artists. The thing is that you guys are artists, and they don't realize this. They just feel because you dance and sing, they can shoot their mouths off, and that needs to stop. Thank you very much, Sanjana, for joining us, and also Arvind, Joshua, such a pleasure having you on my show. Thank you very much indeed. Let's now move on to the next story. Supreme Court restrains police investigation into the criminal charges against Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev's Isha Foundation. That's coming up next. That's the story. SC restrains, that is the Supreme Court restrains actions against Isha Foundation. The Supreme Court today restrained the Tamil Nadu police from taking any further action against Isha Foundation held by Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev. This was after a petition was filed by the foundation about how a huge contingent of police had actually raided their ashram in Coimbatore following a Madras High Court direction on 30th of September. The High Court had ordered an investigation into allegations raised by a man called Professor S. Kamaraj, a retired professor of the Tamil Nadu Agricultural University in Coimbatore, who had filed a habeas corpus petition and alleged that two of his very well-educated daughters, aged 42 and 39 years, were brainwashed to shift to the Isha Yoga Center run by Jaggi Vasudev. He alleged that both his daughters had virtually abandoned him and his 63-year-old wife and caused the couple great distress. The man also alleged that some kind of food and medicine was perhaps being administered to his girls at the yoga center, making them lose their cognitive faculties. The women, however, refuted their father's claims, and rightly so, because they are both adults, and said that it was out of their own volition and no one had detained them. One would have thought that once the women spoke out, the case would have been dismissed thereafter, but then the judges made some very few observations. The first: we want to know why a person who had given his daughter in marriage and made her settle well in life is encouraging the daughters of others to tonsure their heads and live the life of a hermitess. That is the doubt. Now, that observation by the judge was in the context of Sadhguru's daughter's marital status. Next, when the young women intervened, yet again the judges addressed them and said very sternly, "You claim to be on the path of spirituality. Don't you think that neglecting your parents is a sin? Love all and hate none is the principle of devotion. But we could see so much of hatred in you for your parents. You are not even addressing them respectfully." The bench meanwhile has transferred Professor Kamaraj's case to the Supreme Court and directed the state police to file the status report ordered by the High Court and the Supreme Court. The next date of hearing is on 18th of October, and we shall bring you more on this tussle between Isha Foundation and Professor Kamaraj, who says his girls have been held by the foundation. And as promised, I leave you with the other top stories from the south of India. Thank you for watching. Vanakkam.
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए। और कमाना है